Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm trying something brand new that I hope you enjoy. Throughout this series, we're going to take a closer look at all the maps in Titanfall 2 and do our best to break them down. I'll be showing you my opening routes, flanks, hotspots, choke points, and really just anything I can think of regarding each map in hopes that your performance improves on them. Today we start off with one of my favorites, which is Eden. So sit back, relax, and let's do this.
My legacy. Okay, I may be arrogant, but show me true progress and success in someone who hasn't been. A savage in the rough, trust that I'm ravaging the rush. Believe the damage will be nuts, you'll see them vanish when they challenge it. I'm here to strive, support my family, advance to eat, no ransom me, but when I...
So, Eden is one of those maps I'm always happy to see pop up in the rotation. It's designed in a way I think intrigues a lot of Titanfall vets because of all the different routes available. You can play slow and on the ground, or fast amongst all the walls provided, and then there's that center railway that's always attracting a lot of combat. It just plays smooth, and that's important in Titanfall. So, let's take a look at my opening routes on each side that usually gives me an advantage. But first, understand why I think they're important to begin with. Titanfall is a game where snowballing is so prevalent. Basically, if you gain the advantage, or map, or Titan control, that advantage usually, not always, tends to grow and wins you the game. So having a good start within the first minute or two of a game is sometimes all you need to secure the W. Obviously comebacks are a thing, but you get what I'm saying. Let's say one of these routes helps you net 5 or 6 quick kills and you don't die, your Titan will be the first to fall, and that's usually a huge advantage. So there's not one main route I'm always going to take. I have a few depending on how I'm feeling or what weapon I'm using, and I suggest you try different routes as well to see what works best for you. Let's begin with the Southside spawn. This first route is my go-to rush if I'm feeling extra confident in my gun skill. There's nothing special here, we're pretty much just running straight into the enemy with hopes that things go our way. You have to go into this fight fully expecting to see 2 to 3 guys in the railway, which is why I only recommend using an SMG while doing this, or maybe the R201 for pretty good hip fire. If you master your speed on this route, you'll have an advantage because the average player won't expect to see you so soon. I pretty much always throw an arc nade or have one ready just in case we do run into a few guys. Arc nades are crucial in these aggressive in-your-face pushes. This next clip is for rifle users that prefer to play slow. I'd say 80% of the time you're going to find players that don't jump on the railway and instead run straight down the street below it. So use this to your advantage. Take out a G2 or something with little recoil and look straight down this path. If you want to piss off Game Sager, throw down an Ant Wall to further increase your chance of success. You can also do the same on top of the railway, but you have to remember there will be people on top waiting to challenge you. This next route works often for me because you're putting yourself in a spot most players tend to not look at first. This spot has a great view on the top of the railway as well as the street below it. There's also cover here and the stairs behind you in case things get a little crazy. And now things get a bit more interesting. The flank routes. These don't always work because their success depends on how slow your enemy's playing, but when it works, it's so satisfying. The goal here is to get to the opposite side of the map as fast as possible while catching your enemy off guard. Again, this is hoping that they're playing slow with tunnel vision looking down towards the main street, but if you catch them off guard, there's just nothing they can do about it. Flanking may not always work, and if it doesn't, don't think it's the end of the world. Normally, if you don't find anyone on an opening flank, it just means they're pushed more towards your original spawn. So now you have somewhat of an advantage because you know where to look for them. There's walls everywhere on Eden, so if you need to get to the other side of the map in a hurry, with some practice, you'll have no problem doing so. Now let's take a look at the Northside routes, which are pretty much the same idea, but you're coming from the opposite direction. So now that we got routes out of the way, next I want to briefly go over spawns and how to use them to your advantage. Assuming you had a great start using one of these routes, where do you look to next to keep your momentum? If you spawned on the south side and cleared most of the enemy team, most of the time, in attrition, you can now expect the enemy to start spawning east towards these 2 buildings. Spawns are not the exact same in every game mode though, so keep that in mind. But now, spawn logic comes into play. If one of your teammates happens to be standing there, you have to read your radar and guess the new spawn. I won't go in depth on this, but if you want to learn more about spawns, GameStager recently made a new guide on how to predict where your enemy's coming from, which I highly recommend watching once you're done here. But returning to my point, in attrition, you normally want to look east once the enemy's cleared. If you originally spawned on the north side, it's the opposite. Once you clear the enemy, you can expect most of them to now come from the west. It's worth it to know most of the popular spawns on the map, so I'll do my best to show you each one from the top of the railway. Keep these in mind while playing, and if you notice the enemy spawning in one of these spots, do your best to either flank them or shoot them from afar with cover around you. Finally, I'm going to move around the map and mention anything that I think may help you. So I noticed this spot is very popular when Titans get control. They like to go on the edges of the map. I don't see a lot of people being aggressive and, you know, running all around the map, trying to get certain routes in the middle of the map or anything. They usually tend to stick to the ring, you know, the outer ring of the map, and try and get control that way, which is fine. I'm just saying it's harder to counter them that way. So instead of running at them with your anti-Titan weapon, you know, your mag launcher, your charge rifle, running at them, you know, face to face where it's easy to kill you, I like to come back here and just be a nuisance. You don't want to go through the doorway and being predictable so that you can get killed easily by like, you know, 40 mil or something. You want to jump around and just be a fly that's hard to swat pretty much. And it's really not something that just has to do with Eden, it's any map really. If you see an enemy Titan, don't run away from it. Instead, try and get in a position that's hard to kill you, and use your mag launcher or charge rifle and take them out as soon as possible. The goal is to build your Titan meter while making them weaker, so that by the time you call your Titan out, they're either dead or they're so weak that once you engage with your own Titan, they're much easier to kill and you have the advantage. But yeah, these rooftops are a great place to be if the enemy team decides to camp here in the spot. There's other spots around the map that are very prone to have Titans huddling up, which we'll get to in a second. So I noticed this room right here is very popular, and a lot of pilots like to run through here, whether it's just PvP or there's attrition and there's Titans around. People love running in here. Instead of running around it and wall running and all that, they just like to run through this room. I guess they feel safe in it. So if you're in a Titan, don't just wait at these doorways hoping that they come out. You know, go here and try and shoot them. I use Scorch a lot, so this is pretty much gonna be a Scorch tip. What I like to do is just throw a gas canister right in here from out there and just light it on fire. But pretty much they have nowhere to go. They're either gonna die in here, or now they're forced to run in this section and run out, or they're forced to run in that section, which allows you to get the easy kill. This is something that I thought I'd mention. Now, this is a popular spot for this. I mentioned this earlier. This is a popular spawn spot, and it's a really good, if you happen to be in this general area when they're spawning there, you have such a good advantage depending on where you're standing. So this is a really good head glitch. They're always going to run out this door or that door, or maybe from this corner, and it's hard to kill you if you're standing right here because you have a decent head glitch with this thing covering you pretty much. You can either stand here, go in this building here, you have some cover here, and another spot I like to go from is right here on this roof. This is another decent head glitch depending on if you crouch, and just be smart with your positioning pretty much. Every now and then you'll see somebody up there. Just keep that in mind because it catches me off guard a lot, and now I'm paying more attention to it. A lot of people don't know how to get up there, but when they do, they can be kind of annoying. And now this is another popular spot. I notice a lot of Titans like to huddle up together if a team has the advantage. It's so annoying, especially if it's like a team full of tones. They're all just hanging out back there. They know they have the lead, so now they're waiting for you to come at them, and they can just shoot you with the 40 mils. If they're camping back there, get rid of your mag launcher and take out a charge rifle and just snipe them from up here, or stand on the railway over there and snipe them, because you're gonna have a bad time if you don't do that. I mean, you could push them with your mag launcher, but if they're decent players, they're gonna kill you out in this field, and it's a huge advantage for them to camp back there. Another popular spot is back there in this corner. I mean, if they're back here, you can pretty much stand on them here and shoot them with anything you want, mag launcher or charge rifle. But just make sure if they're camping back there, you take out a charge rifle. It seems to help me a lot. This out of bounds section is a spot I don't see a lot of people utilizing. Like, yeah, there's a timer here that says if you stay here for 7 seconds, you're gonna die, but all you have to do is run through it. You have plenty of time to get to the other side. It's a really good flanking route because most people aren't gonna even look back here, you know, so no one knows you're coming. If they happen to see you on here, just do your best to either take cover behind the trees and shoot them, or some Titans that like to hang out here. Just be evasive. Don't run into a tree like I did, and just get the hell out. Another spot Titans like to hang out in is this corner right here. You can either get them from this top roof, just be annoying, just be that fly that I was talking about that's hard to swat. Get a good head glitch, shoot your charge rifle, mag launchers, I wouldn't recommend being up here because you're an easy target with no cover unless you want to, you know, jump around like this. But use the rooftops for the most part. Use these slanted roofs as cover, and that one over there as well. And that is pretty much it. If I think of anything else that's worth mentioning, I'll be sure to update you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this new idea I'm running with. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, make sure to rate the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the crazy amount of support recently. I love you guys. Peace.